I just want to say something, and it kind of sucks to say this, and I have felt this in my spirit for a while, and I don't know that it's true, but I sure feel like it is, and it hurts to say that my mom's a liar and that she's hiding something from me. But if there's one thing that I know, that my mom ain't scared to lie. She'll lie. She'll lie. She'll lie. And don't get me wrong, I love my mother, and she did the best she could raising me. Uh, but I have felt for quite some time like she's an enemy. And it's not because she presents herself as an enemy. I mean, not really. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, uh, here's what I think. I think that I was left an inheritance. And I think that my mom is hiding it from me. I think she's holding on to it, which is why they got no problem helping me out and yada yada. Because, and I think my dad knows too. I think my dad, well, of course, dad knows. They probably, or mom probably talked him into believing and saying, well, you know what? He don't need this money because he'll just spend it all on drugs. Like, I don't need to be rich to waste my life away with drugs, Mom. I don't. I have proven that to you, haven't I? You know? And since when has any of your fear-based decisions ever done me any good? Okay, let's talk about the first one. Actually, I'm going to stop it right there and say, Mom, you need to do the right thing. You need to quit letting me struggle, and you need to quit being selfish. And this is all assuming that I'm correct. But I sure feel like I am. I sure feel it like I feel it. And I know somebody's been trying to tell me. Somebody's been trying to show me, but they don't want to get into the middle of it because they want me to figure it out. For some reason, whoever that is, they want me to solve the mystery. I feel like I solved it. And here Ancestry DNA gave me another free account out of the blue now that I'm submitted to God. Imagine that. So, if I find out before you tell me the truth, Mom, I will disown you. I will disown you because what you have left me in is no better than what the devil wanted me to. Devil wanted to leave me in because that money would have changed my life. And it still will at some point because she keeps fucking around like that and doesn't give me what's rightfully mine, then God's going to see to it that her lies are exposed and so on and so forth. And I think that's maybe that's God doing that. Maybe He wants me to expose that situation for what it is. And I think everybody else knows too. I think everybody else knows too. I think the whole family knows. I think they're all keeping it a secret from me. And I think they're all, they have absolutely no problem turning their back on me because they can justify it in their minds that he's just a drug addict. And yeah, you shouldn't give it to him. In fact, you should disperse it to the rest of us because we'll actually do something good with it. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Truth be told, I can't stand my family. I love my dad. And I hated that we had to go cross, and but he's not much better than the rest of them. You know how many times I let two times I let my dad whip my ass after my divorce because we would get into it because nobody would just come let me vent. Nobody would just come let me vent, even when the boys weren't around. And I never vented in front of the boys. I mean, maybe once or twice I wasn't able to contain it, but I shut myself down pretty quick. And my kids understand, okay? They're the only two people in this world that never turned their back on me. My sons. They're the only family I got, in my opinion. And if I didn't include myself in things, I would never get invited to nothing. I pretty much just show up to crash the party. Uh, that's why I don't stay long. I come, make an appearance, because there are other people in my family that love me. Okay, I have cousins that love me, and because of things that happen because of other things that happen in the family, we all of us cousins were torn apart, and it was just taboo for us to talk to each other. And because the sins of our parents not being able to get along, and because the some lies that were told, and so on and so forth, we were just torn apart because the adults didn't know how to be adults, and they didn't know how to deal with pain, and they didn't seek God when they were trying to figure it out, okay, and everybody was right. I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right. Okay, well, you can't all be right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on out there and say that you're all wrong, dead fucking wrong, and you fucked up all of us kids because of it. Why do you think we're all drug addicts? All of us. Every cousin I have is a drug addict. All of them. So far in the family, the only one that I know for a fact, and this excludes my mom and dad, and they had their, back when they were young or whatever, whatever, my mom, she's told me stories about her and my uncles or whatever, and she liked speed, okay? So she loved them white crosses. Back then, that was just pure ephedra. They'd take them white crosses, and spun ducky woo woo. And she's told me, she's like, I was always more of an upper type of person, which is probably really why she had all of that weight gain. It probably wasn't my fault that her thyroid went all wacky on her. It wasn't because she got pregnant with me. It was because she probably did a lot of speed back in the day. And, she would never tell me the truth. Never. She would never tell me the truth about that, what really happened, because she's a liar. And I told her one day, I was like, Mom, I will never, ever, ever take another piece of advice from you, not ever. And there's a good reason for that. And she hates that I have some sort of inclination that my intuition. I had to tell her the other day, like, hello, Liberty's a witch, Mom. You need to wake up. You need to see for what she is. She's all about mind control, and these are words that come out of her mouth. She practices mind control, and they're teaching it to the kids. Mind control at Canyon High School. That's what she told me. She told me. Okay, that was like one of the last real conversations that we had, because she was unsure, and she thought that I was like her, and I am like her in a lot of ways, except for I'm not evil, Liberty. I'm not evil like you, okay? And I caught her and her little boyfriend that supposedly was into drugs and shit. Yeah, well, so is Liberty. So is Liberty. Man, her whole demeanor changed just like that. One day, all of a sudden, she was different, okay? If that's not sign of drug abuse, okay, Mom? Because you weren't so good at fucking figuring me out, were you? So what makes you think you're any better now, okay? Now that you're freaking borderline senile. Like I said, I hate to talk about my mom like this, but the fact of the matter is that something needs to be said about it. I'm tired of just letting them run over me, because if there's an inheritance, it came down, and I'm sure they got theirs too. I'm sure that or maybe they're all freaking mad that I'm the one that got chosen for it. Maybe it was when my grandpa died. Maybe it was when my grandma died. Who knows? I have a feeling that it came from a dickie for some reason. That's what the hints that I keep getting on. And how she was able to figure that out, or how she's been able to keep it from me, I don't know. But here's what I do know. Grandpa Dickie is pissed. He's not happy about it, because he's my guardian angel. He's one of them. He's probably the biggest, badassest guardian angel I got. And, Lord, expose it. Expose the lies. Uh, but in your timing, I know that you're ultimately in control of all of this, and I appreciate that. And that's why I'm able to just, be content with nothing. And I'm learning the value of being good with your money. Like, and I don't know how to say. I don't know if AI is helping me or if that's God pushing it, to where I'm getting these, like people who are rich stay rich because they don't buy big gold chains and shit. Well, ain't nothing about me gonna change. As far as how I live, like I'm gonna get a better place, but it's not gonna be a massive place. It'll just be a regular place. Nobody will ever know when I get that money. Nobody will ever know, except for the people I bless, and they won't know where the money came from. Nobody will know, and maybe that's what they, I don't know. I think they're selfish and greedy, and they're butthurt that I'm the one that was chosen to get it. But, God knew. God knew who to give it to. God knew who to leave it to. What gives you the right to sit there and play God in my life, I was going to stop and do this on a live, but it takes forever to upload it, and I kind of want it to upload quickly, so I'm just going to continue on this video right here, but I'm going to do another live here in a minute. I'm going to talk about some of the decisions that my mom made in my life that helped me find my descent into madness. But for right now, I just want to say, Mom, you need to think real hard and long about that, about what you're doing to your son that you love dearly, supposedly. I think you just want control because you're witchy. You want control of me. That's how you've always been, Mom. You're overbearing, you're critical, you're judgmental, and that is a whole lot of freaking control. And because you can't control your own life, you can't control your own weight, like, where do you get off telling anybody what to do when you can't even get a hold of your own health, when you've been promised health by God Almighty? But one day she told me, she said, and I don't know if it just slipped out of her mouth or she wasn't thinking when she said it, and I was asking her, I'm like, why don't you just let the family get together and let's all lay hands on you every day till you're healed? I know for a fact prayer works. Okay, I just went to Trinity Fellowship today and I found me a couple of pastors, and we agreed in prayer, and I kind of told them a very short version about what's been going on in the last 5 years of my life, and they didn't bat an eye at it. They sat there and listened because they know they've got people in their church that have dealt with it, that have been in witchcraft. And you know what he said? He said, look, Ben, it's a good thing that you know about witchcraft and that you love God and that you're God's child, because that's a good thing to know. Okay, that's a really good thing to know. You don't want to practice it. Okay, don't make it into a craft. And these guys are using the right terminology. Okay, so I know they've dealt with it before. They know it's very real. They know it's a real threat in the world today. It's mainstream. It's mainstream now. You know what I mean? It's everywhere. Like I say, you can go to the mall and get yourself a starter witch kit for $20. You know what I mean? Like that it's a religion. It is a religion they're pushing on the world, and it is the fastest growing religion in the world right now. So where do you get off trying to run somebody's life when you can't even get a handle on yours? Everything that you got is because of Dad. Is because of Dad's hard work, his work ethic. And that's why I still love my dad, and I still respect the man, and I still look up to him, even though we've had our differences, and even though I could tell he wants to tell me. He wants to. But that's his wife. And he's not going to put me above his wife, and that's the right thing to do. Even though it's a fucked up situation, pardon my language, it's right for him to put his wife, and it's borderline, okay? But I respect the decision that he has made to side with his wife. I understand that, because that's how it should be, okay? And I know there are people out there going to hear that and be like, man, that's stupid. Wow, that's the dumbest thing I heard you say. No, it's not. No, it's not, because that's what God says to do. When you have a wife or a husband, you don't place your kids as more important than your wife, okay? You have become one flesh in God's eyes, And he says that you don't put your kids, okay? They grow up and they go away, okay? It's not his responsibility to be loyal to me, okay? I'm supposed to honor my mother and father, and that I do. Even though I know that some of the decisions that they made and some of the decisions that my dad has let my mom made, not wearing the pants in the family sometimes, has led to my drug use and my hatred for anything that my mom tells me about life. Like, I just want, when she tries to start telling me anything about life, and I've heard her say some very wise things, and she's not a stupid lady. She's just got no self-respect. She doesn't, God help her, and I pray for her. I try to take all her pain on my body. I have begged God to just give it to me, and he won't do that. And maybe she's right. When she told me that day, she's like, I deserve this. I deserve this. And when she said that, I knew absolutely 100% that she was talking about me. And it had to do with me. So I just let it ride. Well, if you deserve it, you deserve it. Anyway, I love you, Mom, but I still believe that you're a hateful witch. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you're a holistic witch, and you're a controlling, manipulative, holistic witch. And don't get me wrong, she has taught me some good things, and they gave me a great foundation, and I just don't know that my mom's saved. I don't. I hope she is. I mean, she plays a real good role if she's not. Uh, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts, Mom. And she'll never see this video because she won't watch any of my videos. She don't condone it. She don't think what I'm doing. I don't even know that she has a clue. You know what I mean? Like, I try to show her some things, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it." You know why? Because it's truth. She don't like that, which doesn't give me a whole lot of hope for her salvation or her soul. And that's unfortunate, but it does say in the Bible that when Jesus comes back that there'll be two in bed sleeping, and one will be taken and one will be left. And that breaks my heart, because it won't be my dad. It won't be my dad. He's faced his demons. He went through his dark night of the soul. I've seen it. And my mom even told me one day that, oh yeah, your dad went through this too. When I was talking about the inheritance, and somebody was trying to steal this inheritance from me. So, no, your dad went through this too. Really? Why? She wouldn't talk about it. Who knows? It'll all come out in the wash eventually.